and it's going to counter... oh, that's actually G2's picking Baptiste. So now Tribe will probably select the weapon Sky and round it out with a solid CP jungler, such as Samuel, for example, would be a good fit here. Or even Lorelei, if they play Lorelei jungle, I would love to see that.
I wouldn't even be surprised if it was the Reza. If they go for the Sky Weapon power, that means they're trying to play very aggressive, so Reza would play perfectly into that, especially against the Lyra, like you mentioned. Reza brings a lot of burst out, so you can eliminate a target very quickly before Lyra sustains them back up to full health.
Yeah, it's definitely a composition that can do a lot of work if they look for something else that has even more lockdown as their third pick. I think if you're the side of Tribe, yeah, they pick up this Reza themselves, so they're going to be looking to just get that, to survive the first 3 to 4 minutes until Reza really hits those power spikes, but then go incredibly aggressive with T-Tigers on this pick.
This is something that T-Tigers has played in the past. This is his play style in a nutshell, basically. Once you got a bit of power behind you, then just take over the game. And we'll see how Tribe are going to round out this composition.
Yeah, I would think Weapon Sky would make the most sense. Other weapon power laners, Baron is open as well. But with Churnwalker, maybe that could be an option they could use. But I think Weapon Sky, with the mobility of Reza and Sky dancing around all over the field, they can target focus so well against who they want to target.
Yeah, and now for G2, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they went for the Baron. It would make a lot of sense with the Baptiste and Lyra as well. They can protect him very carefully and try to keep on having him survive throughout the team fights against the Sky, against the Reza. So either the Baron or going for something a little bit melee, something such as the Jewel weapon power that is unlikely, but they played in Europe.
Yeah, Jewel could work, or just go Saul. I mean, if they want to go Saul and win the early game and push objectives, that could work as well, because Saul, Lyra, Baptiste is actually a pretty strong composition. And Hundor plays a really solid Saul.
Yeah, they could also look for something similar to a Kestrel and just try and focus objectives. It'd be very similar to the composition that we've seen out of East Asia with the Lyra Samuel Kestrel, and you, instead of looking for team fights, you just do nothing but focus on objectives. You do enough damage to your opponents so that they can't contest you, and then just take down the turrets. But it is going to be the Baron, and this is Hundor on Baron. An incredibly strong pick for them.
This is a classic for G2 Esports right here. Hundor on the hyper carry and protection across the board for him. Now, before we jump onto this game, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this one, guys. Very quickly, I'm going to ask you for your predictions coming on into game number 2. G2 took it to Tribe in game number 1. Tribe took it in the end, though. Can G2 even up the scoreboard here?
I like Sky into Baron because she's so mobile and she can stay on top of him, so I think Tribe has this game.
Okay, one for Tribe.
I love the Baron pick on Hundor, and I think with the Baptiste into Reza, Baptiste has the advantage early on. I'm going to go with G2 here.
I'm going to stick with G2. I really want them to win this game, especially just so that we can have a 1-1 going into the later series, but it's going to be very difficult playing against the Sky, like Sui said.
All right, so we have somewhat of an undecided desk. It's time to pass it over to our casters and find out how game number 2 is going to pan out in our first best-of-5 quarterfinal.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm hyped to get into game number 2 here of Tribe versus G2. I'm Action Jackson here with Dalsy yet again. This is quite an interesting draft we have coming through, a Reza pick from Tribe. Dalsy, talk me through this a little bit.
Right, so when T-Tigers picked up that Reza, it was into a Lyra and a Baptiste, essentially 2 heroes that counter Reza very well. And so it was very clear that Tribe must have had something in their game book. A weapon power Sky coming through as that last pick forced Baron. And once you've got a Baron, Reza's very good into Baron. So T-Tigers will have eyes for Hundor. We'll have to see if he can execute onto it. But let's not forget, this is Hundor on the Baron. He is known as the best when it comes to Baron in the West. So we'll have to see how this plays out.
All right, the battle has begun. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 of Tribe versus G2. Tribe leads the series 1-0 for the time being, but they're going to be looking as G2 to change that here. Can they pull it out? They do have Hundor on his signature hero, the Baron, something he was first known for. Arguably, when he first was known for Baron, actually, it was one of the only things he was known for, of course, since he's expanded his hero pool vastly.
Yeah, back in Spring Live Championships, it was that Baron that allowed G2 to take that win over North America's Immortals, Dienzio's old organization. Technically, you could say it's the same team, but I'm sure that T-Tigers and Max Green would argue that they are improvements on the roster. Right now, Tribe are looking to make that Worlds run a reality here. Going to be a very interesting early game. We've also got Keanu Nakoa on this Lyra. He is known for his Lyra plays. Playoff Beard saying so much that he just loves the captain-making playmaking that Keanu Nakoa can do on this Lyra in our hype videos. Currently Tribe taking over the middle of the map once more so that he can get T-Tigers ahead of this Batiste.
It's a good thing that Churnwalker can't pull people in at level 1, or that would have been pretty gnarly. Max Green landing a lot of those hooks early on here. Certainly setting himself up for success, putting his playmaking potential in the forefront of the minds of G2, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Max Green's Churnwalker has been leveled up so much since the North American Vainglory 8. Yesterday, he had highlight after highlight on this hero, something that G2 are going to struggle with, but Churnwalker's not that great into Baron post level 8.
Whoa, Hundor, that was a very bold move, trying to jump in, find some quick damage. This could be the bait, though. Dark Potato wants to say something about this. Dienzio, he's inside of that Ordain, does have the flask available, though, and T-Tigers is here. It's one quick kill. Already on to Tribe. They want more. They find more. 2 kills in 2 minutes. Tribe off to a great start.
Churnwalker not very good into Baron post level 8, but we are very much pre-level 8. And Hundor did not disconnect his chain. That's how that first blood came through. It was the frutility of life through the hooks and chains killing off Hundor. And then, of course, Dark Potato fell shortly. Tribe 2 kills to the name in this early game. As you would expect into a composition with a Baron, they are looking to snowball heavily here. And with a Reza and a Sky, they can certainly do that. Both these heroes are very good into Baron due to the fact that Reza and Sky have such high mobility. Reza provides the burst, and towards the late game, Dienzio will provide sustained high damage, and that's something that's very difficult for Hundor to deal with. It's also difficult for Dark Potato to deal with, because when you have one target jumping your Baron, then Ordain can shut that down, but when you have 2, then not as much. That puts so much priority onto Keanu Nakoa to have bright bulwarks that completely protect Hundor, and I would make a case that Echo could be a priority item here just for that, so you can control the landscape of the fight with a double bright bulwark.
Notably, after that first fight as well here, Dalsy, Tribe put the Tier 1 turret of G2 Esports within the sort of range of a light breeze taking it down. G2 has to be very cautious about every move they make. That's going to be a lot of damage onto Hundor as well. You can see the Churnwalker setting up opportunities for T-Tigers to move in with the Scorcher. And here at 4 minutes, pretty much on the nose, Tribe take turret number 1. G2 Esports firmly on the back foot.
Yeah, Hundor's not being allowed to farm in the lane here. Oh, his CS is just up so far, but Max Green is holding him at bay, and Dark Potato trying his best to escape.
Got a lot of low members of Tribe right now, but they're not doing anything too risky. They're making sure they just play on the edge of what they have the ability to, trying to bait G2 Esports into a situation that might not be tenable for them. We've already got the fountain picked up now on the side of Max Green. Next time we have that situation, I highly doubt Tribe will start moving backwards. If anything, they'll try and keep the pressure on, make G2 Esports make some tough decisions.
Especially considering Keanu Nakoa has rushed a Crucible here. Typical of a Lyra to stack that HP on 2.10 so that she can have more impactful Imperial Sigils and try and heal for a larger amount.
That's going to be the pull-in. Max Green keeps on fishing with those hooks. This time, though, G2 Esports react quickly enough to get out of there.
So there's a really fun interaction of your Churnwalker, not so much of your Baron here. If you pull whilst he's mid-flight, then you will pull him back to his jump position. Max Green pulled just a little bit too early, pulled him whilst he was jumping in the animation of the jump, like kneel down to jump, I don't know, at the crouch, there you go. And it didn't actually pull Hundor back, so it made it look like it was a really long jump. If Max Green was just a little bit slower on the pull, his reactions were just a little bit slower, then he actually would have pulled Hundor out of his jump completely, and that would have been a death for sure for Hundor.
So you're saying Max Green is too good.
Too good for his own
He had
good.
reactions that were just too good. Right now, though, Max Green trying to make some more plays happen. There's no turret here to defend G2 Esports. A good amount of damage coming across already. Dienzio blocking the exits. G2 Esports, they got to get out of here. It could be an ace. Again, Dienzio wants it. He's diving past the tier 2 turret. Even with that fountain, though, it is dicey right now. G2 looking to turn it around. A stun comes out. Not going to be enough. Max Green doesn't even fall. Tribe find a flawless 3 kills.
North America, the kings of the turret dive. That was impressive stuff coming out of Max Green and Dienzio and that coordination. And like you mentioned, Dienzio with his best Gandalf impression said you could not pass to G2, cutting off all escape. And Tribe are just snowballing a heavy lead here. It's going to be very difficult for G2 to weather this storm, considering the Baron doesn't have much mid-game pressure. The reason they were able to weather the previous game's aggression was because their team fighting ability as a 3 was so scary to Tribe, and all they needed was to hit those tier 3 items, 2 of them each, to really be able to do that. That's not going to be the case in this game. They need to get that Baron online. It doesn't matter what Kianako and Dark Potato are doing. If Hundor doesn't have the damage output, G2 can't win this game.
It's really difficult for G2 Esports right now to navigate the map, though, because the initiation threat range of Tribe is massive. Hook and chain makes it so you can't move up, drop a scout trap, back away. Even if you're close to the brush, you're putting yourself at risk. G2 Esports feels like they've got to do something, though. This might be a little too bold as Tribe do move forwards. They're going to prioritize picking up that gold miner, though. 400 into the pockets of the members of Tribe. They have complete control over the jungle 8 minutes into this game.
Yeah, the front half of G2's jungle is owned by Tribe. The back half will remain in possession to Dark Potato for the time being, as Tribe haven't really prioritized the aggressive back play of the jungle, because they understand that it's not about Dark Potato this time, it's about Hundor and shutting down his methods of farming the lane, shutting down his potential gold income. Tribe's so good at just holding opponents where they want them. If they want to fight them, they fight them. If they want to starve them, they starve them. Right now, Tribe can do it all, and really they could do it both at the same time as well, but G2 not wanting to allow that to happen, back off. Tension Bow comes through from Hundor, a desperate play to try and get some mid-game power. It's a cheaper item. It bursts a little bit heavily.
No.
Here. Mark screens level 6.
Dark Potato! What just happened? He got annihilated. T-Tigers is pretty low, but there is no way G2 Esports turn on to that play. Very nice setup there. Very nice ambush coming out of Tribe, sorry.
Yeah, Keanu and Koa had flares as well. I suppose they didn't expect that Tribe would anticipate a play that took so long to execute. They only take down Dark Potato. He will respawn with a Crystal Infusion in inventory and walk back into the lane. Because Keanu Nakoa hasn't built Fountain yet, he didn't use Fountain, so technically you could say that's all right for him. It wasn't really a win yet for Tribe. It was just a bit of pressure. They do lose some backs though, and Dark Potato will be punished for that. 0 and 3 having a hard time against T-Tiger's Reza play, and he has prioritized such a offensive build. Aftershock into Clockwork, it's very low damage, but Reza's power doesn't come from the damage you build. It comes from his heroic perk, Fire Starter. When you trigger that, you just burst so much, and Clockwork with the Aftershock to add to that burst allows you to just do so much damage. T-Tigers is going to be very difficult to deal with. You cannot stop him from moving around. You also have to focus on Dienzio, who's able to reposition himself so quickly with his auto attacks and also his series strike. Right now, Tribe are just looking so good.
They really are, and G2 does not have any easy options for coming back into this game. It's not like they can try and set up an ambush. Basically, their entire jungle is too scary to even go into.
Oh, no.
Tribe are just all over the map controlling things. G2, I think, at this point, is really relying on a misstep from Tribe.
They say time heals all wounds, AJ, so that is definitely something G2 will look to try and get the most of. A very valuable currency, but Max Green's just purchased Echo, which can mean these team fights can be tested.
That is some good damage. T-Tiger's trying to reset this one, though, jumping onto the back line. He's trying to find Hundor. Can he find the kill? Dienzio is going to be doing some good work on the front line as well, chasing down more kills. Keanu wants to get back to the platform, and he will. But again, a clean fight from Tribe. They do not lose a single member.
And Max Green didn't even use his Echo there. A newly purchased item, very powerful in Churnwalker, and he did not need it to be able to dominate that team fight with a Torment. Kiana Nukoa, unfortunately, just is bad at blocking these Churnwalker ultimates. We've seen it this tournament so far. It has been a problem for him. His ability to block Churnwalkers, Trespass hasn't been there. It has not been on point. I think so far he has blocked potentially 1 out of 4 or 5 Churnwalker ultimates that's been thrown his way, which isn't a very good statistic to have to his name. So something Keanu Ko I know is aware of. This is something he talked to me about before this tournament. It was something he struggles with. And so for himself, he's going to be really focusing on his ability to block that Churnwalker ultimate. Because if he doesn't, then Max Green is just going to rain on his parade.
There's so few opportunities for G2 Esports here. I mean, I admire them for trying to pick fights, trying to maybe, you know, contest things like gold mines. But right now, look, they're by their second-tier turret. It's already down. This could be a good fight opportunity for Tribe, if anything. T-Tigers does get poked out a little bit. Max Green's got everyone on the hooks, though. Looks like G2 Esports, even with the amount of damage they chunked out from T-Tigers there, feeling like they just don't have the ability to actually engage.
Yeah, they really don't. And it's very difficult for G2 to know when they have a point in this game that they can contest Tribe, especially when they aren't taking team fights or poking back as much. They're not really feeling out their damage potential. A very clean surgical game so far from Tribe, really understanding when and where they can't go for these team fights. And as G2 group up in this choke point, maybe Tribe looks for the assassination.
Hundor has thrown out that ultimate. Here comes the engagement, though. T-Tiger is getting annihilated right as he jumps in. He's got a bail. Hundor is doing a good job of making space, but it's not going to be enough. Dienzio on the back line doing some serious work. Hundor is over the wall. Can he find the kill? Not quite. Dienzio takes him down. He doesn't even fall. Tribe are ridiculous. They get themselves an ace.
Yeah, Dienzio throwing out that taunty face for himself. Tribe are feeling good, and they're on a momentum swing right now after taking down former world champions, Rox Armada. You've got to be feeling good about your world's chances. A team formed with one objective: take the 2017 World Championship home with you. Right now, they are doing a fantastic job here, AJ. Let's have a look at how that fight ended. Nope, it's going to start here. It was actually a great block coming out of Keanu Nukoa on that Churnwalker ult, but Dienzio just has so much damage that death from above, they all were channeled into it, couldn't escape due to the great aggression coming out of Tribe. And when you cannot escape CC like this, then it is a scary day to be a European. And Tribe are really looking to nail home that vengeance plot.
Yeah, Tribe are sitting very pretty at 11 kills to 0 here, a 10,000 gold lead. G2 Esports are getting, I would say, maybe a slightly closer in some of these fights. You know, they did manage to almost take out Dienzio. If Hundor had actually fired the basic attack prior to his jumping across the wall on him, maybe he even would have got the kill. G2 knows they need to keep, unfortunately for them, bang their heads against a wall to some extent. Eventually, maybe the wall will show a fracture.
I mean, I guess if you bang your head against the wall for eternity, eventually the wall will break down here. But with more gold swinging over to Tribe, they are making sure that this eternity does not exist and that there is a time on G2's ability to come back into this game.
G2 Esports now have to worry about Kraken, which has entered the fray here as well. Tribe has a very easy objective to force fights around. They have a very long range that you have to be careful of being engaged upon by Tribe. So G2 Esports, this is all or nothing. They have to have a good fight here. They've only got 2 turrets left standing. In fact, G2 Esports,
They can't
they
fight
don't
this.
have Dark Potato. He's nowhere to be seen. He's in base trying to buy an item, I assume. That's going to be a lot of damage already down onto Kana Nakoa. He can't get out of there. Hundor jumps into the middle of the fight. He goes down. Tribe, they're in hot pursuit of Dark Potato. They get themselves the ace yet again. 2 turrets left standing, and Tribe should be taking those out pretty darn soon. They're just going to go back, clean up Kraken, and play it safe.
Yeah, very questionable play coming out of G2 there. Like you mentioned, Dark Potato back at the base, and there was no real reason that Hundor or Kiana Kunakoa should have been there. Yesterday, they got a miraculous Kraken steal against Team Kraken, but that was as a 3, and that was after many ultimates were used. That's turrets going down here. One Vein Crystal turret dropped for these guys as well, and now the Kraken has been unleashed. Tribe looking to push on in towards the end, AJ, and G2 haven't been able to make their way into this game.
Tribe are beginning the push that could be the death knell for G2 Esports. They need a miracle right now. It's going to be quite difficult to find that opportunity. Max Green does take some poke, but in the process finds 3 chains. What a huge trespass from Max Green. Tribe pull the trigger. They jump in. They find the kills. Tribe are 1 win away from being our first team at Worlds 27, moving forwards to the semifinals.
Dienzio stealing away. Max Green's triple kill. This guy is a monster for Tribe. All of these players are showing up. All of these players are making the plays, and Tribe taking